Muffins are quick and simple to make. I'm going to show you the standard mixing technique for most of the recipes in Muffins Fast and Fantastic. I've prepared all the ingredients in advance, so now we just have 3 simple steps. In step 1, we sift the dry ingredients together in a large bowl. This includes the flour, raising agents, and salt, but not the sugar. You might need to press through any lumps with a spoon. Today I'm making chocolate orange muffins, so I'm also going to add chocolate chips to the dry mixture. Now in step 2, we combine the wet ingredients along with the sugar. First, we want to beat the egg briskly with a fork, about 10 seconds, to break it up well. Okay, now we can start adding the other ingredients, and we'll start with the sugar. My recipes are light on sugar, but if you prefer them sweeter or less sweet, you can simply adjust the sugar as you like. These muffins will have just 1.5 level teaspoons of sugar per muffin. Most commercial muffins have 4 or 5 teaspoons each. Okay, just stir that in well with the fork. Next, we're adding the vegetable oil. Again, these muffins have only 1.5 teaspoons of oil per muffin, so they're also light on fat. And just give this a good stir again until it's all well blended. Okay, we're ready to add the other ingredients. Even though cocoa is a dry ingredient, it mixes best in oil, so we add it to the wet ingredients. It does need a good stir to blend it in well. Okay, and now we can continue to add the other ingredients. Here's the orange zest. Now the rest of the liquid ingredients. Each time you add an ingredient, just give it another good stir until it's blended. And a small amount of orange juice. The sliced mandarin oranges will be added later. Okay, we're ready for step 3. We're going to combine the wet and dry ingredients, but first I'd like to mention some essential points. The final mixing must be with a spoon, not a whisk or an electric mixer. Those are for cake batters, which are dense in sugar and fat. Muffin batter has or should have a lower sugar and fat content in proportion to the other ingredients, and this type of batter needs to be handled lightly, not beaten. Secondly, it's important to know that the raising agents will be activated as soon as they become wet. That means the wet and dry mixtures must not be combined until the oven has reached the correct temperature. For a large oven, this could take 10 or 15 minutes. Muffins can only rise properly if they're put into a moderately hot, preheated oven. Okay, my oven's ready, so I'm now pouring the wet ingredients into the dry. Muffin mixing is very brief. You should aim to finish the mixing in about 20 to 30 seconds. You want to moisten the flour with as little stirring as possible. That's the secret to a light muffin texture. You can see that I'm turning the bowl frequently and scraping the bottom and sides to bring in any dry flour. You don't want to overstir the batter. Now we'll add that fruit and just fold it in with a few strokes. When the batter looks evenly mixed but still lumpy, it's time to stop. But here's some flour caught in the spoon, so we just need to moisten it. There, now the batter should be spooned straight into the muffin pan, since those raising agents are already active and starting to bubble. For this, I like to do a combination of pouring and spooning, but you can do whatever you find easiest. I'd like to point out that most muffin batters are gloppy like this, not too thick and not too thin. But muffin batters can be quite different. In recipes that contain a lot of juicy fruit, or grated carrot or courgette, the batter will usually be thicker, since juice will be released during baking. Batters that don't have juicy fruit will tend to be thinner. One exception, though, is a buttermilk batter. I'm going to add some grated chocolate over the tops, but toppings are always optional. If you're using a fan oven, toppings can actually help the muffins rise more evenly, as they prevent the tops from drying out too quickly. Okay, these are ready to go straight into the oven. The baking time is usually about 20 to 22 minutes if the temperature is correct.